is it even a good idea to approach a woman on the street? Because obviously a lot of men are not doing it. And then the question becomes like, do women even want to get approached? Because here's another caveat to this. Again, a thing from my childhood that I remember distinctly. And it was, what's up, everybody? I'm Zap, and this is Jericho, and you are now tuned in to the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about things that are funny, interesting, and ridiculous. And you're gonna want to stick around for this episode, because man, we gonna hit home, man. We're gonna hit home. We're talking about the dating divide. That's what I call it. So basically, there's a lot of stuff going around in social media about men not approaching women anymore, and women are like, "What's up?"
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men?
It has come to my attention that men do not want to approach women anymore. I don't know when this happened, but this is the reality of the situation.
Men no longer court women. Men no longer pursue women the way they used to.
She was like, next time he's near you, just say, I see you peeking but not speaking. I was like, I love that, because kind of calling them out for what they're doing.
If it works out, it works out. But we are not going to let your shyness be the reason you do not try to talk to the person you like.
I found a study that is going to give some actual numbers. They did a study on this. We're going to talk about why men may or may not be approaching women anymore, if approaching women like that even works, and if women even still want to be approached by men just on the street like that. So there's a lot about to go down in this episode. You don't want to miss that. Stick to the end. But before we get started, you can help your boys out. Come on, you know what it is. Every episode, we need you to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that like button, because that helps our channel grow. More people see our videos. And if you really want to help your boys out, come on now. Once you hit that subscribe button, you'll see something that says join. You can join our membership, because unfortunately, we are not fully monetized by YouTube. They don't give us a penny. We don't get nothing, man. So all these free videos, bro. I'm laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. I digress.
That's what it is.
If you'd like to join the membership and help us make more videos, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money, resources. You can hit that join button, and that'll help our channel grow. So now, let's back up. Have you heard this or seen this kind of just floating around the interwebs about like men and women just like dating just not happening anymore?
The thing I've seen the most is women. It's mostly like street interviewers, if you will, who basically approach women and say, hey, what's your ideal guy? And then when she just describes this guy, then the person who's interviewing tells her the probability of that person existing and choosing her. And it's usually like, it's crazy.
Minimum height.
6 feet.
Yeah, that's where they get you. Minimum income. So
I'm gonna say at least 200.
200 grand?
You can be 30 years old and make 200
Oh my goodness. Take a guess at what percentage of men fit this criteria? 2%? Much lower. It's 0.049%.
All right, is this going on the TV?
And it's not that she's always looking for, the baller with 10 cars and $1 billion, but even be a certain height, have a certain wealth status, no kids, whatever. It's still very few people. So I think just recognizing that this is the ideal thing that women are looking for, and feeling maybe a sense of entitlement that they deserve that is going to weed out a lot of guys. So then when guys that are outside of the range of that, window that she wants approach, they just kind of shut them down without even thinking about it. And then I think that is more prevalent with guys getting, we're supposed to be the people that pursue in the relationship, and getting told no is part of the process. Trust me, it's part of the process. But
personal experience.
If you put that down time after time after time, and it's not really seem like it's going getting any better, you kind of like, what's the point after a while? So that's more of the trend I've sort of observed.
Emotional damage.
That's part of what I'm talking about here today. So basically, I found a study. Who knows how legit it is, but let's just go with it and say like this is representative of what's really happening, because you have like the stuff that's in the media and social media, and it's like, is this for real, or are we just like putting the people who are in those situations in front of our faces so much, but then like in real life it's a little different. So I think like this study, if these numbers are like correct, is very eye-opening. Wow! The study is from a site called datepsychology.com. And just first off, it said that 59% of men between 18 and 25 have not approached a woman in the past year. So according to that number, the women on social media are right. Like men are just like, nah.
No.
Thank you, Draymond.
48% of men in the 26 to 40 age group. So that's roughly us millennials. So that's 50% of men are like, nah.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
That 18 to 25, they call them Zoomers now, which like, all right.
Sure. All right.
That's kind of cool. You got boomers and then you got Zoomers. But 81.81% of them and almost 75% of millennials have not approached a woman in the past month.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
So at least according to that study, at least in that respect, the women are right. Like the men are not, like, at least in the sense of like approaching someone, you know, in real life on the street, whatever.
I see you peeking but not speaking.
Obviously, a lot of different questions come after that, right? But just as like a fun to the side, if you feel like sharing.
Emotional damage.
Because you spoke about like the difficulties of just men just fear rejection, stuff like that, approaching women. Do you remember your first attempt at approaching a woman?
Oh yeah, dude, I was like 4, bro. Like I was
4? You were 4 years old?
Her name was Laura, I remember. And
that doesn't
I was
count.
Like, hey girl, we gotta go hang out by the slide or something. Like I was
couldn't
all
even
about
spell
it.
your name.
Accurate. But I was all about it. No, but I mean, honestly, that it is true. But no, man, I
for real. Like
I always had what? Okay. There was this girl in high school as a freshman. She was a sophomore, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna write her a song and sing it to her because I just was gonna do it. So I did it. And then she was kind of like, oh, that's different. And I said, okay.
That's such a dramatic approach.
That wasn't the that I was hoping for. But then later that day, I remember standing with my 2 of my friends, and we were all just like looking at her. And then they were like, man, you ain't gonna talk to her. And I was like, yeah, I am. And they're like, no, you ain't. I was like, yeah. And I went over and I talked to her, and I'm just like quaking in my boots. But I said, you know, you want to go out with me? And she was like, oh, so sweet. She tried to say no without saying no directly because she didn't want to hurt because she liked the song or whatever. But that was probably the first time where I was like, okay, this is kind of a thing. But I think I just figured early on that it was something that you have to accept. Like this, there's a risk involved in this. It's never going to be just you lock eyes and the hearts form like the cartoons, and then you know, are together forever.
See, sometimes you gotta take the pussy like Pepe. Like, no.
Me personally, I never really had a problem with the idea of being rejected. What did happen later was like I didn't like the way rejection started to show up. Mostly, what I mean is instead of like just a girl saying no thanks or whatever, it's more just like the ghosting thing or the never saying no exactly, but not really wanting to hurt your feelings. That's the part I don't like, the kind of watered down thing. When it was just like, I've gotten no so hard, like just absolutely never in your life. And I was like, ooh, for like 3 seconds. And then it's all right, next, because I think that's what I was preparing myself for. However, I think that a lot of guys, especially younger guys, aren't built like that, and so they don't want to take the risk.
What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything.
And not only that, it's not the no so much anymore, but with social media and everything being recorded, whatever, now there's a lot of instances where people are getting like, they're just trying to be nice and say something, compliment someone to kind of measure the waters, and then they get accused of harassment or something like right off the bat. And so I know a lot of guys are rather, instead of making a mistake that might affect my career or whatever, I'll just not say anything. So you walk around, oh, she's pretty. I ain't going to say a word because I don't want to even entertain that idea.
When is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time.
Well, I got news for you. It's going to be even longer because y'all are full of it.
Well, my first time was definitely not 4 years old.
Call me Laura.
You like Casanova over there. No, I vividly bro, to this day, this girl can get it. She can she watched the podcast and was like, you know what? Okay. I'm packing up my stuff and I'm like, where did Zap go? I'm like, she said yes, man. This was like 7th grade. I still keep up with her. And I think now I'm more reserved. People will describe more reserved, more quiet, more laid back. But when as a child, I was insanely, I'm talking like unbelievably shy. It wasn't reserved. I was just like, I didn't know. I'm not doing anything of, but like this one girl was just like, she was just amazing to me. And it was like a movie where I was like, I get closer and I'd be like, like, I know my name.
There's a level of fun that just does that to you, man. It's just
so I couldn't talk to her. I literally could not form words and talk to her. So I wrote her a note.
Nice.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That was pre-social media, so I think that'd be the equivalent of me like sliding into her DMs. Basically, I wrote her a note and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" And the same thing. She was like, "No," but she was like super. She was so, and she wrote me a note back, and it was just like a page of just amazing things, and I was like, ah.
Wow, nice.
So you're right. Like the way, if it's no, the way that no happens is very important.
Yes. Yes.
Men's psyche. But okay, so just moving on. So now the question becomes, all those, flash forward to back to where we were talking about. Is it even a good idea to approach a woman on the street? Because obviously a lot of men are not doing it. And then the question becomes like, do women even want to get approached? Because here's another caveat to this. Again, a thing from my childhood that I remember distinctly. And it was the songs that came out. And every time you heard a song from a man about a woman, it was like, "Oh, baby, I love you. I'm trying to get with you. You're my everything," whatever. And then after a while, like, it felt like every song that came out from a woman was like, "Man ain't this," and "He broke my heart," and "He is trash." And there was 2 instances I remember: TLC,
sure,
No Scrubs, and everybody was just like vibing to that song. I'm just like, I can't get with Chili if I ain't got my own hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride. If you live at home with your mama, oh yes, I'm talking to you. And I'm like, man, I'm like a teenager. I'm like, man, I love my mama. I don't have a chance. So it was that song, and then it was Destiny's Child, and I think Beyonce has a few songs where she's like, man,
she does. Yeah, she lets
man.
That's not how she really feels.
What was that?
The Bills one?
Yeah, can't pay my bills, pay my automobiles, pay my telephone bills, and then you think you got it, and then she's like, nah, then maybe we can chill. We can chill, like, bro, I just paid all your bills.
Yeah.
You my wife now. Like, what happened?
No, that's just something you just do now.
No, you just do that now. That's just a new thing you do until you and your shitty ankle both die.
There were songs like that, and I was just like, man. And then like that, and like the Me Too kind of thing, and like some of the stuff you hinted at.
Right, yeah, that's why it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say anything.
So I think there's the question of like, do women just like not be like being approached? So this study has said 74% of women aged 25 and below actually want to be approached more. 77 in the 18 to 30, 68 in the 68% and 30 to 40. So basically 3 out of 4 women are like, I want men to approach me. Why isn't it happening?
I think the thing that I get from this listening to like interviews with women is that, yes, they want men to approach them, but they want it to magically be the kind of guy that they like. Yeah. So there's a caveat to it. It's like, if you walk, I've seen the look in women's face. If I walk up to them and they wait. Last week, I was in Tampa doing my thing, and I walk up to a girl, and all I was going to ask was it was a bunch of girls dressed the same. I wanted to ask why they were dressed the same. And I know for a fact that women, because I've seen many posts about this, have a voice that they do when they're talking to a guy they're not interested in. It's something that sounds they're bored or whatever. It's kind of an ew, go away voice.
That's suspicious.
And so she does it to me right away, as very innocently. Hey, what you guys doing tonight? Oh, it's just a bachelorette party. We're just here to celebrate. That's the bride over there. You know, I'm like, hey, you go away, because I wasn't what she wanted, physically, anything like that. Like, I didn't fit. If I had, her tone would have been different. So a person like her will say, yeah, I want more guys to approach me, but not the guy who just talked to me. I want it to be the guy that I fantasized about. So how do you know if you're that guy? You really don't until you try. But you'll know right away if you're not. That's my
hated it. All right. So just to wrap it up here. So the big question, men are approaching women. Women want men to approach them. So now, why aren't men approaching them? So 4 things I found in the article, nothing new. Fear of rejection, fear of social consequences, a shockingly high number to me of just not finding people that they're attracted to. And then smaller, but still there, is fear of like some kind of consequence. They'll tell on you to HR or
if you work with them, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I was kind of with you too. It's like the fear of rejection, all that. I mean, we're older, like we've been through that. But like, this is the thing that gets me. Why I personally rarely do this. And
hey, y'all, come look at this.
The one time I jumped back in, and you were there, it happened.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Anyway, yeah.
I see.
This is why I don't, because it rarely works, at least for me. And then it also showed that in the study, depending on what you want. So I thought it was kind of cool the way it broke it down, because it went from approaching a woman to long-term relationship.
Sure.
So, and then the steps in between that. So you have to go from point A to point B, but it's a bunch of stuff in between. So it showed that when the guy approached a woman, 80% of the time it led to some kind of contact, meaning like friend zone. Here's my Instagram. Okay, whatever. You got a 4 or 5 chance of hitting that. And then from there, 60% of the time it led to an actual date. 47% of the time it led to sex, which was kind of high, surprisingly high to me.
Sure.
Like you got a 50% chance of every 2 women, one of them is gonna. That seemed kind of high. But 28% chance it led to a actual relationship that was like at least 2 months. And then only 13% chance it led to an actual like long-term relationship. And then some of those numbers don't apply to me, but I can at least attest for that last number. Like just approaching a woman in like life on the street, it like never turns into a long-lasting thing.
That's weird.
Well, I have friends that one of my best friends, he met his wife. She was working at Carl's Jr. and he thought and he got a number and they married with 2 kids. So it does happen. And I will say that for me, I do like the immediacy of it. Is that a word? Whatever. I like the way you get the feedback right away. If I talk to you and you're into me, I kind of can tell right away. If you're not, you won't give me the number, whatever. Whereas people that are going more of the dating online route, they'll get drug along for weeks and months and it might not go anywhere, but you wasted that much time. It makes, I don't remember how many people I've just walked up to and said, because it happens so fast. And if it worked out, great. If it didn't, okay, whatever. It's just such a short amount of time. But when these now people are kind of getting friend zoned and are the women leading them on, they don't know, but it's going on for months and they're writing and, hey, what if you send me a little money or maybe you can come over? We hung out, nothing happened, but I thought you were to me, bro. It's like that happens so much to these guys who are taking that route that you can see why it wouldn't be something people want to keep repeating to do. But I personally would recommend more so to the younger people because I think you could be a little tougher. That's just my personal opinion, is that like thick-skinned, if you will. Like just try. You never know. And I have had a couple decent sized relationships that came from just me walking up to a girl I thought was cute. So that has happened to me. In comparison to how many women I've walked up to, it's not a very good percentage, I suppose.
Hi.
Okay.
For me too, it's just like it's the unknown, because it seems the randomness of it. Because all I have to, unless I know you from something, like I'm just going off of you look good, and then
right.
There's a whole lot of stuff after that I have no idea what I'm getting into, and for me, most of the time, it's bad. It's so bad. It's the other stuff.
There's a lot of layers to a lot.
Oh,
of
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Women.
I started writing them down because remember we had another thing and you were like, tell me some of your experiences, and I couldn't even think, and you're like, oh, they're repressed. I'm like, they probably are. Gotcha. I started writing them down. I got like 10 of them. There's a lot more.
I believe it,
bro. Make sure you leave a comment on this video. Share it with somebody who has noticed this in the dating scene, men approaching women. Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Are you doing it? Did it work for you? I don't know your life. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good luck. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's just a bachelorette party. We're just here to celebrate. That's the bride over there. I'm like, hey, you go away.